To introduce Terence, I've asked his wife, Maria Ronson, to introduce him.
You may be wondering why I, Terence's wife, is introducing him instead of, say, a peer in the industry. I am that peer, being co-director of PertLink, which Terence has founded. But apart from that, there is no one who has witnessed firsthand, except me, the drive and ambition, the endless hours of reading up so that he's ahead of the curve in anything to do with hospitality or technology. Terence has also this uncanny ability of spotting trends so that, and also looking for opportunities to apply them so that his clients, whether it's hotel or senior living facility, are early adopters. In fact, strange, but he had already had a subscription on Zoom way before COVID, way before we got zoomed out of our sensibilities during COVID and post-COVID. Terence also, through the years, I lost my notes. Terence also, through the years, I have observed, has very little can trip him up in the industry because of his deep knowledge of the industry coming from the groundbreaking projects that he's been involved in, and also his extensive experience from years of being part of the industry. As a result, nothing has ever faced him, or very little has faced him, and also he has had a significant impact in the industry. And this he has done on his own, because PertLink, the company he's founded, is really a standalone company. He does not have a chain of companies that has backed him all these years. The other thing that at the moment that we have now focused in the time of our lives is to lean towards giving back. The series that Terence has written on the do's and don'ts is in fact just that, giving back. It's do's and don'ts on adapting technology for hospitality, which has been well received by his colleagues and has been seen as a valuable resource for those in the hospitality industry. The other thing also is that I have had the pleasure of editing all these pieces, or the do's and don'ts series, as well as the thought leadership articles that he has written for websites and magazines. Unsurprisingly, and not missing a beat, Terence has adapted and embraced AI, so that the role of editor, which has been mine, has now been replaced by AI. And ladies and gentlemen, in front of you is someone who has very little qualms about the advent of AI because of this. In fact, I wholeheartedly welcome it. Terence has also started his passion and interest in technology when he first had acquired the first generation notebook called HX20. Today, he stands in front of you, taller. And as a co-director of PertLink and a proud wife, may I introduce to you today's Hall of Fame awardee, or this year's Hall of Fame awardee, Terence Ronson.
I think with that kind of introduction, there's nothing else I need to say. But, you know, it really is, as I stand here today, I wonder, how did someone who started his career as a chef and is happily being recognized today for being a visionary leader in hospitality and technology, I really wonder how that has happened. And thank you for that. And it gives me great pleasure to add this little tag to my badge to say I'm a member of this very special club. That said, it is a tremendous honor to stand before you today and receive this prestigious award. I am profoundly moved and immensely grateful to everyone who has supported me, especially those who have endorsed me. Before I recount the long and sometimes arduous journey I have taken to get here today, I want to congratulate my co-awardee, Floor Bleeker. And Floor and I have known each other since, I think, the early 2000s, when we worked together on a project in Shanghai. And now, I believe we're working together on a project in the Philippines, where I now reside. And I think I am the first pseudo-Filipino to be awarded into the Hall of Fame. I started my career as a young, aspiring 15-year-old commie waiter, walking 10 minutes from my home in London to the local hotel where I worked. In my stiffly starched white jacket, I learned to elegantly scoop peas from a silver platter onto a fine bone china plate. And for any of you who have been through that process, you know how arduous it is. And those early days were filled with split shifts, balancing school and work, and dreaming of the future while learning the ropes of this vibrant industry. In the bustling environment of a busy hotel, I envisaged a life in hospitality, imagining one day becoming a revered general manager. My journey through the ranks was filled by curiosity and hard work. After completing 3 rigorous years at hotel school, where I mastered the art of cooking, I ventured into various kitchens, including a summer stint in the famed Dorchester Hotel, where I spent my days making petit fours in the pastry department. Those were the halcyon days before air conditioning, high-tech appliances, or those ever-popular Japanese knives. The kitchens were intense, and to see a dish flying back across the counter wasn't uncommon if it wasn't up to par. It was a challenging environment, but it taught me resilience and the importance of excellence. If you've watched the popular TV series The Bear, or know of Gordon Ramsay's antics, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It was hot and sweaty, but the adrenaline rush was incredible. There was no Red Bull in those days. Despite the challenges, I knew early on that my passion was not in the kitchen, but in creating new and better ways of doing things. By the age of 22, I had become the deputy general manager of a boutique hotel in central London. My career track was fast, perhaps too quick for some, as I felt the presence of an imaginary ceiling above me, hindering my progress due to my age. Determined to break through that ceiling, I sought an international experience. This decision took me to Asia, where I worked for Hilton International in 3 countries over 5 years: Hong Kong, Guam, and the Philippines. At the latter, I met the love of my life, Maria. We were the original office romance. These experiences broadened my perspective, teaching me invaluable lessons about cultural diversity and the global scale of hospitality. From 1980 until the 90s, when I was back in the UK, I continued my foray into hotels with stints at several London hotels and 5 years selling point of sale. But not many people know this about me. Between 92 and 94, I stepped out of the industry for a while and worked in the floristry business in a company aptly named Bill & Ben. Through their subsidiaries, Bill & Ben were the only ones to hold 3 royal warrants, meaning they were an accredited supplier to the royal family, including the then Prince Charles and Queen Elizabeth. At one exciting time at Bill & Ben, we supplied floral arrangements to Buckingham Palace during the summer opening period. And part of my duties was to walk around the staterooms and original masterpiece painting-lined corridors of the palace at 5 a.m. to check the floral arrangements. To perform this much enviable task, you had to have an exceptional security clearance, allowing you to walk around unescorted and access to the hallowed throne room, where one had to resist the temptation to sit on the red velvet chair and take a selfie. And if caught, I imagined being sent to the tower, or worse, executed. To help paint a picture, if you've watched a Netflix series called The Crown, you can visualize the spaces I walked around. Then in '95, back in Hong Kong, I spent the next 5 years marketing PMS. The latter period marked the genesis of my company, PertLink, which became a cornerstone of my career. PertLink, we were blending traditional hospitality services with technology. And PertLink's name is derived from 2 parts, pertinent and link. That's how we put it. So we link between technology and hospitality. Today, as we gather here, we celebrate not just individual achievements, but the collective evolution of our industry, many of whom are present in this room, of the giants of the hospitality technology industry, who have paved the way with their innovations and leadership. Following in their huge footsteps, I've tried to contribute by blending technology with guest service, striving to maintain the personal touch that defines our industry as we embrace digital transformation. Our company motto remains, "We don't follow history, we make it." And today is such a historic moment. A special thanks goes to Harban Singh for nominating me for this award. Harbans and I have a history that dates back decades, from fierce competitors to respected peers. The journey from rivalry to respect is a testament to our industry's dynamic and ever-evolving nature. Thank you, Harbans. It would be remiss of me not to give special thanks to people who have aided my journey here today, some of whom are in this room. Frank Wolf and all the wonderful people at HFT, especially Elisa for helping coordinate this session. Doug Rice and Nick Price, who helped start HTNG. Ian Miller from EHL and Agnes DeFranco for their continuing contributions to hospitality education. Henry and Jill from HospitalityNet, who have always stood ready to publish my musings and most appreciatively asked me to be the guest editor for the 2024 Hotel Yearbook being released at HITEC. There's the hard-working David Scholander of HTNG, Scott, Mike, and Bob Bennett, who was one of my teachers at Hilton CDI in 1979, and the jet-setting Prakash Shukla. Let me also acknowledge Richard Hatter, Swee Lee, Silvio Reale, and David Rees. A special shout-out goes to Jing from CHTA and the always customer comes first, Kevin King of Shiji. There is one particular person, Maria Lee, my first client in 2000, who had the foresight and trust to believe in what I could offer. I was amazingly fortunate to sign her in the first week of starting PertLink. Together, we built the cyber boutique Rosedale on the Park in Hong Kong. As Maria said on the opening day, "You helped make my dream come true." Well, today, Maria, my dreams come true. There are so many more, those industry people who have touched my journey, and many who along the way I now consider friends. If you have not been mentioned but know who you are, then a big thank you goes out to you. Reflecting on the shifts we've witnessed from the pre-digital era to today's tech-driven operations reminds us of our commitment to hospitality's core values. Despite the rise of automated services, visual interactions, and digital management tools, our primary goal remains to enhance the human experience within our hotels. We must continue to innovate, but in doing so, let us also preserve the warmth and personal connection that are the hallmarks of great hospitality. As we integrate an advanced tech stack containing technologies like low or no-code apps, AI, Web 3.0, bots, blockchain, robots, crypto, CDM, and hyper-personalization, plus spatial computing, then there's contactless and at some stage quantum computing, all the while focusing on CSR and ESG. Our challenge is to ensure they augment our services without displacing the personal touches that makes our industry unique. And to the GMs of this world, you can forget what anyone tells you. The real meaning of CRM is that customers really matter. And let's turn AI into HI, hotel intelligence. Finally, none of this would have been possible without the support of my wife, Maria, who has been my rock for 46 years. Maria has endured the demanding schedule of hospitality and technology and thrived, providing our family unit and stability. Thank you for this and the fabulous intro. Looking to the future, I am excited to devote more time to mentoring and nurturing the next generation of hoteliers. We must pass on our knowledge and ensure that future hospitality leaders uphold the values that have made our industry great. If you are wondering if I've lost my culinary skills, they say that you can take the boy out of the kitchen, but not the kitchen out of the boy. So today, I use AI and send people AI-generated birthday cakes. It's a great fun, no prep is needed, and everyone is a tailored masterpiece. Some say they even look good enough to eat. So thank you once again for this incredible honor. Let us all continue to aspire, innovate, and lead with integrity in the wonderful world of putting IT in hospitality. Cheers to the future filled with promise and endless possibilities. Let me finish with a quote from an idol of mine, Mr. Zeno Davidoff, the founder of Davidoff Cigars. A cigar is as good as memories you have when you smoked it. And there is no better time for such memories than when you are celebrating an achievement. So for those that know me, it's time for that special cigar. Thank you. Okay. By the way, if anybody would like to have a cigar, I have some spare ones, so please see me later and I'll give you one.